It's time for our aviation segment with Rich Kaplan. Take it away, Rich.
Thank you, Howie. Now, last week I talked about the pros of privatization in the air traffic control community. This week I'm going to talk about the cons, why it's not such a good idea. There are downsides to privatization as well. For one thing, a private entity controlling our nation's air traffic control system would be seen as too big to fail. This means that the taxpayers could be potentially on the hook to bail out that entity should it go under in the name of safety. Basically, we'd have a repeat of the savings and loan bailout, only this would be much worse. Trump's privatization plans will also impact smaller airports such as Republic Airport in Farmingdale, New York, which could see their interests overlooked by a new organization that reports to businessmen rather than elected officials. Specifically, these regional airports are conceived that privatization would encourage rather than reverse the worrying trend of decreased service to smaller markets. This trend has to do with the airline industry's economics. Small airports cater to small communities and they ultimately culminate in fewer fare-paying passengers. Another issue here is what Lawrence Crowder, who's the CEO of Spokane International Airport in Washington State, a medium-sized airport, calls the commoditization of services. Crowder worries that with a corporation at the helm, the best technical and human resources will be assigned to the busiest airports such as Atlanta or LAX because of their significant revenue streams. While these issues, air traffic control, vulnerability to political gridlock, and the needs of small airports are the real ones at stake, how you may feel towards privatization also likely has to do with your political philosophy. Some view the system as it currently is, while others view it as a corporate entity. No matter which side you choose, one thing is crystal clear. The workers will still need to be paid, and the money for this that will come from passengers one way or another. It is not clear which political philosophy will win out. Trump's plan requires congressional approval, and some lawmakers have already begun to voice opposition. Corporate aviation such as NetJets and charter jet companies such as Talon Air oppose it for fear it will lead to an increase in costs for its members. Interestingly, privatization does not have some support from air traffic controllers themselves. The labor union that represents some 13,000 plus controllers say it will look forward to receiving the legislation though it's emphasized its prime obligation is the safety of the flying public. If approved, the U.S. wouldn't be the first country to privatize its air traffic control system. 60 countries have already done it so. Canada is perhaps the best example of how a shift in air traffic governance can benefit the flying public. Since they adopted it in 1996, operating costs have fallen, labor relations have improved, and the government has been freed from the I can't even read my own handwriting. This is getting old. from whatever then a less loss-making enterprise. If the U.S. proceeds carefully, it could see the same. In conclusion, privatization has its goods and it has its bads, like anything else. My opinion is that we need more information on it. We need to be more aware of who's going to control the air traffic control system, what corporation they are looking to control the air traffic control system, and most importantly, what role the airlines will have in control of the air traffic control system. Because you got to think that the big three are going to be sweating bullets wondering what's going to happen once privatization goes into effect, if it goes into effect. So, indeed, you have a lot at stake here, Howie, but I think that in the long run, as long as the American public is informed, and is, by informed I mean well informed of what these plans entail, I believe we could see privatization hit the air traffic control markets of the United States as early as 2018, maybe 2019.
Okay. Great job, Rich Kaplan.
Thank you.
All right.